stretch here. This is a support counter Batrider. They're going to ban Oracle, like ban a lot. Obviously, Wind and Rain might not even be looking to pick a support anymore.
I was going to say, I could be mid-Wind Ranger still.
It could.
But I think that
it
also
removes the option.
That also gives, I think, Wind and Rain a bit of an advantage too, because it's very easy for them to switch it up on the last pick, because they have overall last pick now. So whatever BlinkPool decides to put in the mid lane, whether it be, you said, the tri lane, or maybe they just decide to put PL there anyway.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm pretty sure they last pick a hero for Kaiser. He doesn't play any of the 4 they have right now.
Yeah, I just made that Wind and Rain. I still think have the pick advantage here.
Yeah, I would agree if they can solve the Batrider lane. That's the only thing that worries me for Wind and Rain, is how much this Batrider can do. Because I would say the Radiant has okay solutions for PL. It's not fantastic, but if their last pick also adds to the PL countering, they definitely have options. There's another nice thing about the Batrider pick. Naga.
Yeah.
During song, you start preparing the Firefly, you start getting in position.
Oh, wow.
Actually gonna do it.
They did it.
Damn. So they double countered Underlord now. This is, however, going to make mid lane a bit awkward, because Razor has some bad matchup. And if you're Wind and Rain now, you can basically force this Razor to go safe lane by putting a mid hero that beats Razor. And then if that Razor does go safe lane to face against the Underlord, sure, that's tough, but you can win that one-on-one. Or, yeah, you can win the one-on-one against the Lancer then. I'm not exactly sure what BlinkPool's idea is here, because both side lanes are covered against Underlord, but nobody in mid is going to feel great here. You could even put Morphling mid again. I think that's a winnable. Could be a bit wrong. Not 100% sure.
They could have the idea of dual laning, and maybe they just put the PL and the Sky mid.
That could be what they're looking at.
Yeah, and then I think that you put the Naga bat in bottom.
And just leave Razor completely solo top?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
He's going to get crushed.
Well, he might, like, the idea is that you have 2 good lanes, and the hero that has a good lane is the hero you want to have the good lane. PL.
True.
And worst case scenario, you know, if Batrider's bottom, he can definitely be left alone. Then you can just move the Naga top if the lane is bad.
I think playing Razor from behind is really difficult.
It is, but
like,
that's why
in lane, he's not even a hero.
That's why you can TP the Naga. We'll see what happens.
Standard pick here for Wind and Rain.
The lanes are super important for both. More so probably for BlinkPool than...
I feel like Lina doesn't lose a single matchup here in mid. Not at
not.
all. So you gotta help mid or accept that is a lost lane and win the other 2. And let's see what BlinkPool can do. Not really sure what I prefer. Yeah. But they have the good solutions for Underlord in the side lanes. Yeah.
I still think dual laning mid's the best option.
Is it even going to do that much? I feel like it'll just
go as long as the PL gets farm, even if the Lina trades, like Cinderin said, there's no bad matchup for the Lina at all in this game, no matter who walks there. But you can at least ensure that your PL is not going to get completely shut down.
So who are you going to help then? You're going to help your Bat or your Razor?
I think you help the Razor.
You help the Razor, and you leave Bat solo bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get
Bat can recover. That's, I always look at it as, even if the Bat has a very bad lane, you're still going to get your blink.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah. That's how I see it.
Pretty late, though.
It is late, but
I don't know. This is actually my biggest problem with the BlinkPool draft. I think if their lanes don't go very well, they have such a steep recovery curve. It's one of the problems that they've had. If Razor needs to catch back up and Batrider needs to catch back up, nobody's making plays.
That's true.
So that could happen once again. It's one of the traps they've fallen into in a couple of thirds. I think I'm going with Wind and Rain for this one. I feel like the laning is going to be simpler for them. The things that need to happen are easier to execute.
Same. Going with the boys. NA Dota.
NA Dota. Urge.
They're better drafting. Yes, I'll defer. Batrider seems a bit iffy and has sort of inconsistent results. I feel like I haven't seen a Batrider winning game in a while. So.
Yeah, it just.
Here's one of those classic pauses by Wind and Rain.
We're probably going to be sitting at this pause screen, I would assume, for a while. So strap in, folks. We might be here for.
This is one of those. Let's pause the game and talk about our lanes for a moment. Pauses that Wind and Rain specializes in. This 2 of the 3 games and 1 of the 2 games of the OG series.
Okay, so if you're...
I didn't realize we had a tactical timeouts.
Imagine specializing in pausing.
They actually
How sad is that?
It just happens. There's always a pause. Almost always a pause.
At least they paused in-game instead of pausing at the end of the draft. I don't know what's better, to be honest.
Oh, so we can actually look at the heroes instead of just staring at the anime screen?
Sure.
Just to clear this up, at TI itself, so I'm not 100% sure what the rules say and how this system works, but at TI itself you can only pause for tech issues. The point is that it's supposed to be in a way where the draft is over and you have preparation time, and then it's go time, and you're not allowed to pause for strategy or take timeouts or something. Yeah, I can understand Madara being a little bit frustrated here. OG
this
also
is 2 series in a row that they've done.
OG also brought up yesterday a bit that they thought that there was too much pausing happening after drafts were over, because basically this is like, you can debate if this is who it favors, right? But let's say one team needs more time to think about their lanes and the other one's more prepared. You're basically giving an advantage to the team slower.
And they also
You can
have
actually see them
supposed to be a
drawing
skill,
on the map.
right?
They're actually drawing on the map right now, talking about different areas. So yeah, this...
They haven't written a single thing in all chat yet. I actually think the admin should have written something a long time ago, to be honest.
Is there something in the rules during the qualifiers for this?
I believe,
So-
based on the discussion that happened in the lobby chat yesterday, there is a 10-minute total pause time, but that's supposed to be for like tech issues and stuff. And they still haven't. I don't know. I find this a little bit obnoxious because literally everybody is waiting.
Yeah, Misery, the entire BlinkPool lineup is like, we're ready, we can go whenever, let's get this started. But there's not been a single word uttered by Wind and Rain at this point. Not even a single emote either.
All the admin typed was, "May the force be with you guys." Thank you, Fear SC. I really appreciate that.
My God, Madara.
He's going in. He's having a good old time.
This is real, especially because they got talked. I'm mostly annoyed because they got talked about this in a lobby chat yesterday, and now they're just, it's a new team, so they're what very much looks like to be abusing it. They actually still haven't written anything in all chat except for some.
I mean, worst case scenario, they get
punctuation.
a slap on the wrist and they change the rules.
I mean, they're smart to, if they're getting away with it, it's smart for them to do it.
Fuck
I mean,
that, Mott.
I agree.
That's why we are here.
It's bad for us.
Okay, so-
personally.
No. I think that's a shitty way to look at the world, personally.
Okay,
Yes, you
fine.
can abuse rules for the competitive
Yeah, Mott.
whatever, but come on, guys.
Okay, so benefit of the doubt, right? Like, you can...
That's all they got.
Yeah, it's basically benefit of the doubt.
But they haven't written anything in chat yet.
Oh.
If their house is not on fire right now, if there's not like a home invader, like one guy on their team could be like, "Hey guys, this is what's going on, by the way." But no, nothing. Literally
They
nothing.
haven't actually said anything.
We get it from BlinkPool instead. Yeah, one person's going to piss himself, and then he'll be back in a second. That's it.
Sounds very sarcastic.
Well,
to
if
me.
he's gonna piss himself, why does he have to get up for that?
It's like, I'm just going to find the rule sets. It's right next to don't use macros.
Is that just one of those things that everybody is supposed to know, but apparently a couple idiots didn't follow the
sorry,
obvious guidelines?
It needs to be explicitly put in the rules. It's like those signs at a construction zone. There is a hole. Don't walk into it.
You're not allowed to use the bathroom to gain an unfair advantage. I think we need that one.
I'm sorry. In that case, I require my bathroom to actually be at my desk, just
Oh,
to
that's-
actually balance things up.
They would still pause.
You can just
you
cut a
like-
hole
like-
in the
like-
bottom of your chair. I don't see the problem.
This is getting really creative right now.
You know IKEA is actually releasing a brand new like wave of gaming furniture and chairs and stuff. Maybe with
It's
a
about
great idea
time.
for them.
I think the only way that this is going to really punish Wind and Rain is if they are spending like it. As of the last OG match, they said that we'll use our 10-minute time. That's what the Wind and Rain said.
Yes.
But if they actually have a tech issue, they should be forced to resume. I'm not even kidding, because they're literally abusing their
Admin said they
coverage
had 5
pause.
minutes.
They
Admin just said
didn't.
they had 5 minutes.
They didn't even say they were like using the restroom. They didn't say there was any tech issues. But while I was looking at the chat constantly, they didn't say a single thing while the draft or while this is
now
happening.
Misery clarifying, you have a 10-minute pause per game, which isn't really what the pause is for. It's for tech issues technically, but the way Wind and Rain is using it as a tactical pause, just because it's them or us. What does that even mean? Is he?
Ritsu is such a...
He just writes the most inflammatory things in chat. It's really incredible.
Seb, are you fucking mad? That was the question he asked yesterday.
He wrote that to him like twice pre-game.
Classic Ritsu.
I mean, there is
I'd
definitely...
like to thank all of North America. North America, you have done Europe proud.
What are you talking about, Toby? This is a Europe qualifier. This is
NA
on
Dota.
Europe. This is on
NA Dota.
European.
What can I say?
This is NA Dota.
NA pause.
Questionable at the best.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, disqualify these guys. It's over. Come on, this is getting ridiculous.
That's what Madara
Good
said,
game,
actually.
boys.
Madara said the same exact thing as you just said. This is getting ridiculous, although he spelled it wrong, but that's right. I'm not going to bet on him.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Ready to go.
Hey,
Ready
they're
to go.
ready.
Hey, we did it. All right, so we got Toby from abroad and Purge cast this game. We're going to send it over to them, folks.
Thanks, Mort. I'm totally going to just take that and make shirts and make money off Mort's ideas.
Yep.
It's brilliant. Thank you, Moonduck, for funding Toby One Studios.
No problem, dude. Are you anti-biased towards Wind and Rain as well right now?
Am I biased towards them?
Against
I'm not
them.
biased towards them. I like their draft. I really like their draft. I think I'm a big believer in the leaners making their way up more and more in the mid lane. It just seems to be a great answer, especially to illusion-based heroes. But yeah, their draft just seems so easy to execute. As long as Forever gets farm and he gets tanky, like what really is BlinkPool going to be able to do?
They can lasso people into death. Is my
That sounds like a good plan.
It is a plan.
As long as they don't lasso the Underlord, and as long as they kill the Morphling before the lasso ends.
Yeah, which is not always easy, but at least they do have the outplay potential of the Naga Siren ulti. That's a good thing,
30
and
seconds to
Razor
battle.
static link can be good, but I do expect Lina to have a relatively nice time mid. Definitely agree that the Razor's kind of situational, and picking it before the last pick is kind of scary. So. But
Well, Sim was talking about it, right? Like, as long as they get a good matchup against the Razor, then Blink will have to do something about it. But how much do you want to do about that? You're still running this dual off lane with the PL as well as the Skywrath. It doesn't really seem like a lane that you can just take the Skywrath off and have Madara
The
still fight
battle
farm.
begins.
yeah, it might be tough. I wonder why they didn't do something like themselves to protect their lane a little bit more. Maybe they're worried about TA or something, but just a little bit of trading here.
They're already
and
lane switching.
This was,
Blizzard's going north and Forev's coming south.
This was 3
They,
bounty runs, by the way, for BlinkPool. So already off to a good start.
Huge, man. 40 for everyone. Okay, so top lane, at least the win rate is going to be there to buy time for the Morphling, so not much is going to be lost from the cause. Millen's going to keep the bottom lane under control, so this rotation is not going to hurt that much. Does BlinkPool instantly TP to rotate out, knowing that you've actually already had wall walk it?
It's only worth doing that if they teleported to get the lane, but what all pros do now is they just walk there. That way they know that by the time, if there is a lane swap from the enemy team, for now it's just Misery's going to do as much harassment as he can. He's doing okay up here. But so far every lane going about even. Like, Kaiser went for a static link, it's already run out. Just looks like trading.
I just feel like one of the, straight up trading. It's when Naga gets picked number 1 that I cry.
Why?
That's not when Na'Vi loses, when Naga gets picked 1. It's just such a... I find it very boring in lane for harassing early on.
It's good though, come on. It's 120 damage with 1 Riptide skill. He's getting double Riptides here. He's hitting 2 heroes. He's got high armor. Got to be a little careful, of course, but trading not bad right now. At the least, Kezu is getting last hits. He's up to 6 now. He's going to be able to afford a fast move. He's actually going to go in
Going
here.
after the Morphling.
the damage!
They have a lot.
He doesn't have waveform.
Napalm. He doesn't have level 2. He just picked it up waveform away. No! Mid-animation. Ritsu turns into a puddle.
Naga Siren is just so
evaporated in the
boring
pause
in lane,
time.
Toby. He's just so boring in lane. I don't know what it is.
He's terrible, Purge. Absolutely terrible. I just don't like it.
So what was so cool about that is that they basically just hit 2 before their opponents. I don't know if they have much superior denies, but Misery was definitely harassing a lot. All of a sudden, they hit this timing. Ritsu didn't quite pick up 2 fast enough. A really good finding of a kill. That's something that you would not expect to happen looking at the enemy lineup. You're like, yeah, Morphling doesn't die here, no problem.
Ritsu at least will have some escape. Won't be so great for Wind Ranger. She's actually just starting her TP already. Katrak knows he just can't outrun that. Millen might be in more trouble too on the bottom lane. Cogs up. Madara's right behind him. Saxka can't actually reach that far. Lands off cooldown, but they don't have vision around the tree line into Millen, so he'll just salve up for safety.
Slight laning advantage for the Razor in the mid lane. Braille did just get a sentry and deward his enemy ward though, so it's going to be a little bit harder for him to know when to come forward with the Static Storm. Or the Static Link.
Is it really a huge advantage as well for the Razor? Like, you get Light Strike to rate. Okay, that doesn't help when the Static Link wastes. But the magical pop damage of the Lina, isn't it Razor who's under more threat once Lina hits 6?
Yes, and it's more of like a long, as lane continues, he's just going to spam a lot more Dragon Slave basically. But if Razor is able to sap a lot of damage, like get maybe 30, 40 kind of damage, then that means Razor's just going to get every last hit, more or less, outside of the stuff that Lina uses her. So as long as Razor can offset the nuke harass, which isn't too hard to do, then he can certainly sustain the right-click harass if he saps enough damage. So that's why the vision's kind of important. It finds you the right moments. It's going to allow you to know when your opponent's trying to last hit, and you'll dodge more nukes as well. So it's a really nice thing for Bryle that he was able to deward that. I'm not sure whose Sentry it was originally, but nice pickup by the way for them.
Anything to give your mid laner an advantage and rotate off the lane.
Yep. Or just stay in the lane and make sure Razor goes mediocre.
That's one thing I liked about like the way OG run their mid. They're able just to bounce out real quick and just get a kill with the mid laner and get him back into the mid lane. Never even lose that presence.
Yep, and always be ready to fight.
Yeah. Look for the same type of thing to come in from War with their laner rotation. I want to see which lane's going to pop off. Madara and Duska. Okay, there we go. There's at least the first cog blocking Madara. But for Rev, he's got 2 points up in the Firestorm.
Yep.
It's just not really enough damage to at least threaten the PL.
The nice thing,
especially
though,
when there's so many stick charges.
They can deal with the PL though, at least, which is kind of nice, because normally if you just spam illusions all over the place, I mean, battery assault is not going to work. And that's kind of what Milan's doing. He's trying to just harass as much as he can, but it's hard against the PL. Any doppelganger, if he ever catches the Skywrath Mage, there's going to be illusions there, and its mean trade won't go very well. But with Firestorm at least, it'll be slightly more offset. Rev's going to take a lot of damage down here, actually. No,
yeah, he's actually been left alone. They rotated up to go for the rune, and for Rev, he's still got 9 stick charges. The doppelganger underneath the tower, now 10 stick charges will trigger off for Rev with that extra life. Madara has to commit a little bit longer under the tower, but at the same time, Ritsu dying on top lane. The Batrider will sacrifice himself for the kill. They went real deep for this one. And hey, Misery, greatest ensnare of his life. He's going to take both of the 5-minute bounty runes now because of it.
Not just great, but very interesting to watch, you know? Just exciting and ensnare. Naga Siren, man, what a lane support. But the fact that they killed Morphling a second time now, and they've also dealt with the Underlord, they're just kind of winning their lanes all over the place. Maybe not by a huge amount, but this seems like a genuine BlinkPool advantage. Kind of something we maybe expected, or an advantage that they were hoping to get. Oh my god, Morphling again.
On top lane. Ritsu, he just doesn't have the life left to wait from away, but the power shot, Kitrak doesn't need anyone with that. The flame break should be able to take him out with 5 sticky napalm charges on him.
That's actually, man, Ritsu's making some pretty big mistakes here. So basically what's happening is he's getting like 2 napalms up, and then he's getting ensnared. And what he needs to do is he needs to waveform dodge and snare. Or he needs to realize like, hey, I've got 2 napalms on me, Batrider might jump on me, I need to be ready for an ensnare to come. Because as soon as the ensnare hits, he's screwed. Because Morphling can get like 3-4 stacks on him, start moving ahead to where the waveform should be going, and as a result he had to go to the side like that, which means he's definitely screwed because Bat already has boots, windlace, and he can just chase him down. So 2 deaths now on Morph, 3 deaths actually. That is insane. A really good start for BlinkPool.
Wondering how long it's going to be before they start to change up the lanes, but right now Forev needs to be down here against Madara. BlinkPool set up their rotation. They brought the Skywrath to the mid looking for a kill, but the Observer wards of both sides actually scouted out. I have since lost their obs. But it's definitely BlinkPool trying to make the change in momentum. Garrett's come back down to the bottom lane again. Failed in mid.
I love this bottle transfer they gave to the Naga Siren. As the rune spawned, he just passed it over. He ends up getting a haste rune on the Naga, and then he can give the actual bottle back to Kezu when he needs it. But offensively wise, this is really useful. He can actually gap close and get the ensnares he may need. But mid lane's pretty much going even. Kaiser's going to be content with his current lane position. Lena's going to a little bit ahead, but they're relatively close. So just across the board, slight BlinkPool advantage.
Light. It's about 2k. Actually, it just went down to 2k net worth advantage. I think Misery's waiting on that top lane, coming in through the side. Ritsu, there's your 3 sticky napalms. Got ensnared up. Shackle from Kitrak will create a little bit more space, but with that haste through, Misery can just keep up with him. They tried to try to push Kezu back, but the flame break repositions Ritsu, and with the Riptide, they go through him so quickly, and another instead. This fight's gone on so long, Misery already got it back again. They'll catch 2 kills up on the top lane. The dream start for a Batrider. That drum of endurance is going to be real quick.
It's been a long time since I saw a Batrider dominate a lane like this, but I just think the winning rate is just maybe misplaying this a little bit. I think another issue is that Ritsu's not really strength morphing until things are really hitting the fan. And I think when that first starts happening every time, he just needs to go heavy into strength morphing. There's no reason not to start it early. He's got 2 points in it. The ship rate's not terrible.
Zuxa locked in inside the cogs. Barev just walks himself over. With that Firestorm, he's able to find the damage, and Madara also doesn't have an escape. He's already used Doppelganger. He'll get the kill onto Millet. But here comes Firestorm back off cooldown. Madara gets hit by this, and he'll actually burn out. 19 HP, and he doesn't. He'll actually survive, gets out of range of it.
That was pretty deep, but it works out. I don't know, man. I 4 deaths on Morphling. This it's not worked out the way that they expected it to, but that first kill kind of changed everything. It's about equal last hits stat, but
TP won't be in time.
Brile getting a solo kill top here. That was an invis rune that he picked up, shifted up here, and found the bat standing on tower. Goes back and
Not be
forth.
done with this.
How did they kill the Underlord down there? Regular stuff?
He basically just got locked in. They TP'd down with a Skywrath Mage, salved up Madara, and then they just ran at him. Very, very, very simple. And there's nothing left for him. But the Firestorm, like, he had no mana.
67 last hits on the lead. Kill the Dex small camp as well. But he's actually staying in the off lane. Maybe this is their way to try to stabilize the Morphling.
They want more kills. Contract's going to be the neighborhood. The Shackle, little latch. They're going to chain their stuns. Not perfectly, but it works.
Solid 2 points on Shackle Shot this early is a bit abnormal, but considering how much damage Power Shot does with few levels, this is a good way to help guarantee these kills. And Brile just basically staying in here. And the other cool thing is that in the meantime, they shifted Clockwork Mid, knowing that he was going to spend all this time top. They're going for the chase though.
Yeah, Morphling on the chase, coming closer towards the Batrider. They get the Light Striker raise off, and Batrider, oh, Sticky napalmed up himself, can't turn out of the fight.
Good move. Better way for Morphling to deal damage actually is just take over Batrider, because pretty much all of Morphling's or all of Batrider's damage is based on his first 3 skills. So kind of a cool way to take advantage here.
I'm wondering too if this is also intentional. Obviously you get the drum build coming in for the Batrider, but this will have to delay the Blink Dagger initiation, which... Oh, my Shackle. Actually, they're going to Light Striker raid this too. No mana for Laguna Blade. They can't kill off Misery easy. Clockwork dies in the meantime. No missing uphill, so Clockwork died trying to go for the bounce.
Razor is here though. Dealing a lot of damage.
Hits the Plasma Field, starts the Static Links. No Phase Brutes off cooldown yet.
I was kind of wondering when Razor would rotate like this, because what Lena's been doing has actually been so effective. Just actually hanging out top, jungling, so it's like not the fastest farm, but it's also meaning that anytime they get a catch, that's going to be another kill top. So they've really offset things a bit here. But finally Razor rotating, offsetting that, getting the Lena kill.
Like how fast Forever just TP'd out, but he doesn't do it fast enough. The Lasso able to connect, pulling him back up again with all that sticky napalm. There are no TP supports coming in. Just to walk to the other side of his pit and let another Hellfire down. Anything to try and do some kind of damage to justify his death.
Now Misery is a level 7 here, probably picking up the tome, but great levels across the board on BlinkPool. They're a little bit ahead still. Those 2 little rotations, 2k gold for them. So,
Perfect time for a Razor to move off. Clockwork's hunting. He would have actually hit the hookshot if Razor stuck around 1 wave longer.
And he's had a pretty good game so far. I mean, he's level 10 already picked up. He goes through the agility perk, normal stuff. He's going to go for a fast 4 stat. That way he doesn't have to worry about Clockwork. And now he can kind of be just really aggressive in these fights. Like, it's a long time until Morphling finishes his Lincoln, so there's a lot of heroes that Razor can offset right now with this good start. But there's a smoke coming. Brile as well as the Wind Ranger. 3 points in Shackle Shot now. It's a 3.2 second stun if he gets a catch. This is kind of what they need. They need to chain stun a hero like Naga or a hero like Phantom Lancer and get the follow-up stun and kills. This way, Lena's a really good pick.
Well, they know where she is. Well, he is.
That's
Hiding up in the trees. Ritsu playing bait game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They don't have time on this smoke. It's only got another 3 seconds left. Yeah, they just creep skip it out now. But bottom lane is where everything was starting to prepare. Skywrath Mage already begins his TP up to the tier 2 on top.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They were
attack.
skipping so hard just to get the tier 1 tower on bottom gone. Some kind of trade-off.
But I was trying to slow it down. You can always doppelgang and TP out if needed, but or you could just run in from the backline. You think
Dire's top tower
They're not
is under
committing.
attack.
That tower's is 2 HP away from deny range. So
Yeah.
perfect time to pull out.
And Razor's also just been jungling a lot in this time period. He is spotted by the Radiant side, so maybe this is why they're being slightly aggressive, but maybe overstaying their welcome a little bit. Sometimes if you stay that long for a push, it can be really bad. Your enemy team will realize how many are there, they'll rotate more heroes, and then it's just going to lead into something. But that might be the opposite way now. Kazu sitting on the offlane, he's actually changing up, going to be going for a Blink now, not going to finish. I think that's a great choice, just because he's had this early great start, but having to rely on movement speed to gap close is just a bit dangerous.
They're coming in closer. That Dire Observe Ward watching Ritsu inside the jungle, because the same thing is coming in from the Radiant Obs. Skywrath Mage, the smoke's going to wear off. Millen does not respond to it at all. He's watching him. I think he still wants to go for it. Confident to do it with the Battery Assault level 4. There's enough damage to kill off the Skywrath Mage, but Mystic Flare still comes out, and he's got enough. Yep, finishes the job.
Ooh,
Mid
good
tower's
shackle.
gone down in the meantime, and well, keep running, Millen.
Base
Got
created,
14
man.
one charges and a TP scroll. As long as he's far away from ensnare, he can just TP out.
Yeah, with Tranquils, he's a lot faster than the Razors, and that shackle was perfect. If not for the shackle, I think he might have been able to keep a little bit close, get some damage sap, but Clockwork gets away, jukes a little bit. He's just creating a lot of space now. And now they're going to go for the
Coming in
Razor.
for another fight. This will be a huge one. The shackle! It lands it from Kitrak. They're able to actually connect with the power shot and Laguna Blade and Battery Assault. And Razor, critical hero of BlinkPool, goes down.
Such a useful ward, really. I mean, they were able to grab the Skywrath kill for free, create a lot of space there. Then they're able to rotate more heroes, get the Razor kill, and that was maybe the first reveal of them having vision in the area. BlinkPool's obviously going to know now and maybe they'll go for some deep wards, but this ward got a lot of usage out of it. And basically, BlinkPool was able to just fully out, Winning Rain was able to fully outmaneuver BlinkPool in the last 5 minutes or so, just because of this deep ward.
They're so dangerous too after War had such a good start, keeping the Batrider down. Like Batrider needs this Blink Dagger so they can be the aggressors. BlinkPool needs to be the ones jumping in. And then Firefly up now looking inside their own jungle, but they won't find anything.
He's so close to Blink though. He's got 1900 gold in the bank. That's still incredibly farm for a Batrider. And they've got such good damage as well between Phantom Lancer having a Diffusal Blade finished already and Skywrath Mage. They can kill heroes. They just need to initiate on them and grab them and get the damage follow up without too much of a response.
Forever's taking no chances whatsoever, instantly burning his Dark Rift to get away.
Good idea.
It's Madara with the Diffusal Blade. He knows how fast the Pit Lord can just be, I mean, the Underlord burns out.
I mean,
went Warcraft.
look at all the wards on the map. BlinkPool has really good control of the enemy jungle, so he knew that that was a very dangerous move. But now what's cool, the Winter Rain are going to smoke into their own jungle to be looking for any heroes that they can find.
He didn't see him. He doesn't know he's in the trees. The doppelganger out, the tree breaks, Kitrak walking
like
underneath the dire obs. It's all the information for Madara to work with.
Tree being dead, yeah, he's going to see it. They see the dead trees now, he's looking for him. This is actually really scary for Madara now. But Sox is here as well.
Yeah,
but there's
this could actually be a counter gank.
There's Yules on the
Brawl
though.
by himself. They left him alone. So they can come in, the Yule Scepter up quickly, can be sealed on the way back down again, and actually just Mystic Flare sealed.
Really well played by
Skywrath gets the kill.
And now they're fighting the jungle.
Blink lassos up, the shackle will be able to connect him as well, so Millen can just walk it off and hook shots over to Kitrak. Begins his TP, the damage output from Razor will be enough to find the kill before the TP can complete.
I've never seen such a useless looking shackle before. Normally any other hero would be like, man, this sucks, but he's grabbing damage, he's lowering his armor as well, and the 4-staff pickup allows him to gap close. But either way, great play by Soxa there. He recognized that there's Yule's Scepter on Lina, he knows what's at stake, throws out the slow, saves the silence until after the Yule's ends, and then they're able to easily kill the Lina without too much response. So cool.
Out too far, that 4-star from the Razor allows him to close the distance and begin the static leak. He's already stolen 140, 150, 160 points of damage, which now they can just pump into the tier 2 tower. Morphling may feel that this fight is on. Waveform is down, he wants to kill off the Razor. Razor still needs to get away from this tower with the plasma field, does the run again.
Force in 5.
Oh, that's real good damage from the Lina, but cannot actually reach the Phantom Lance. The Doppelganger just far enough away. They're rocketing, looking the TP out from the Razor. Another 4-star usage, such an early item, being so useful for BlinkPool.
Pretty good engagement once again. Morphling trying to get into this fight, not really working out. Still very far away from his Lincolns. Missing about 2,000 gold. And Razor just grabbed another Ogre Axe, so he is so much further along in his itemization. BlinkPool feeling like the gold graph is even on these two teams, but it feels to me like BlinkPool has just been outplaying their opponents a little bit. They don't have a huge tower advantage or anything. In fact, they're behind on towers, but considering how they're playing these fights, I think I have a lot of faith in them going forward in the fight.
Yeah, it does feel a lot better. Like, to be honest, I thought that War would have a lot more powerful Morphling in this game. Thought the Underlords, like, he's actually got what he kind of needed. He's finished up the Pipe of Insight. So a lot of that magical damage from BlinkPool is going to be negated coming into the engagements.
It can also be dispelled though. Like Unstable Current, for example, can just break right through his barrier. I mean, they're going to deal so much magic damage and maybe it doesn't matter that much, but the Pipe Rush is kind of needed against Skywrath Mage, but it doesn't feel amazing considering that PL is almost all physical damage.
I love Misery's fast item. 18 minutes in for the Naga, just a straight up Meteor Hammer. So his combination with Song of the Siren just became 10 times better.
Or even Ensnare. I mean, if he ensnares a Morphling, Morphling is going to get hit by this unless he burns his stun adaptive strike, I suppose.
Morphling's still trying to farm up the Ancients. They're getting heavily pressured in mid. The only counter the BlinkPool is going to have to worry about is that pushing Lina on top lane. The creep wave already reaches the tier 2 tower.
Is under attack.
It just seems like all the cores on Thunder and Rain are just
Radiant's middle tower.
or Winter Rain, sorry, are just a little bit too far behind right now. If Morphling has Linken's, if Lina has Shadowblade, which she just got now, everything feels so much better for them, but they're forced to play more defensive, not be able to take as many fights, and that was a really important tower that's pretty straightforward to defend, really. The bot tier 2 is going to be a lot harder. So as long as BlinkPool trades this, maybe, I think Winter Rain will be semi-okay, but there's no way they can even contest. And that's a big issue going into the long run.
Well, they're at least having Ritsu doing his work on top. The Clockwork's in a good position to go for a hook. Second, he realizes Skywrath may just hit that Mystic Flare with the seal. The damage output is almost enough to kill off the Morphling. It was worth the shot. But that's 4 heroes now from War up on the top lane pushing the tier 2. The trade-off will be the tier 2 tower on bottom lane. But how quickly are BlinkPool moving? They come to mid lane. You're starting Underlord with that Dark Grip. There isn't enough damage or control to get him out of this.
I think that was absolutely worth trying. Because if Soxa secures that kill, that's kind of like a in-your-face, my 4 position just killed your 1 position. That's like a terrible, terrible place to be. So, very close. He ends up staying alive on Morphling, but he's actually going to catch a Clockwork mid, slow things down a little bit. But they also got the tier 2. So, I guess they trade tier 2s, the support dies to the carry, but a couple moves like that, maybe one succeeds. Get a big advantage. Still 400 gold still until Ritsu finishes Linken's.
Ritsu gets his Linken's. There's still some extra things to proc this, however. Like, even if Razor wanted to, he can just use his Force Staff on it.
Yeah, I think it's more likely it'll be Spirit Lance. I don't know, like Skywrath Mage, Arcane Bolt, they're going to probably want to cast that often in team fights. But maybe not. There are good things that it counters for sure. And there's always the potential of Morphling just turning it into Razor, static linking the Razor, Razor tries to static link back, it breaks Linken. Like it's too dangerous for Razor to use his Force Staff here just to break a Linken Sphere. He needs that for himself, really.
Do you like this starting build from Madara where you go to Fusel and then directly into Heart?
Yeah, it's fine this game. A lot of times PLs will be bind hoods these days, just because it gives you, if you're getting lane harassed, you'll get a lot of passive regen basically and magic resistance. But in this game, there's not that much magic. It's basically just like Lina, some Morph E-Blade late game, maybe some Firestorm stuff. So he can just go away with the full technically greedy build, even though it's more standard. He's just going to power up his overall HP, and then Winter Rain's going to have a lot of trouble just dealing with the illusions. This is the right move this game, for sure. It's done already. This is insane. 21 minutes and he's got Heart already? My god.
And now he's going to go into Amanda style. So at least he's got dodge effect and push effect. This Observer and Sentry, Millen's been playing around on top of her for the last like 2-3 minutes, which means they know exactly what they're getting into here, BlinkPool. Bad Rider began his TP. You actually want to finish the job here? Okay, you want to go instantly for the second kill. They won't find it. Wind Ranger TP's out in the tree line. But that line's being drawn in from Clockwork. It's like push mid or something around mid.
Yes, they know what's at stake here. It's looking scary with the PL this far ahead in terms of survivability and damage. He's essentially very close to impossible to gank right now for Wind and Rain. They would have to commit a lot of heroes to be able to pick him off, like at least 3 with perfect chain stuns if they can land it. And there's a lot of other BlinkPool heroes to worry about, especially because Razor's finishing his BKB, but they're going to move into Roche. I think this is a great move here. They're super far ahead. This is the best way for them to force their opponents to try to engage them, something they want to happen. And if they don't, then they're going to get a free Aegis, and then they can start forcing down towers even easier. BlinkPool's
Looks like War's grouping up. Roshan's taking a very long time for BlinkPool to kill off, so they got time to react. Clockwork Rocket flies in. The Naga Illusion's already trying to create that buffer to stop him hookshotting. But that's why you're seeing War wrapping around through the northern side. The Song of the Siren is out. But who is this really for? Who are they trying to kill off? So far, everyone just goes to sleep. That Rider finds his target. It's going to be the Lina up on the hillside. They want to kill off quickly. Pull out the Mystic Flare, and they get it. The Clockwork hookshots himself in forwards now. The Scarab's meant to be picked up by Ritsu, and he stands his ground up against the Phantom Lance, but losing that life. At least they're able to avoid the Meteor Hammer. But they're going through more infrared. There's none of this. I want out. He's in range of all 4 heroes. The question, how many can survive? Millen will not. The rest will, and BlinkPool go back into Roshan to finish what they started.
Just a super great fight from BlinkPool there. The Morphling jumps in to try to be annoying to slow things down. Razor instantly breaks the Linkens with Force Staff, or somebody did. and he swapped static links. So Morphling caused some time to be spent at least, but by separating the Lina to the right side on the high ground, and then the Morphling to the bottom right, and the other heroes across the river, that gave Batrider finally an opening to snag a hero. And as soon as they killed the Lina, that fight was pretty much over. Clock tried to save her, but he was a bit too late. She died very rapidly, and then it was just the easiest teamfight win for BlinkPool. So really well played there by them, and lots of wards in the area to spot out their opponent.
When that fight happens and the Razor wasn't even carrying his BKB, that's going to be real scary for War going in further. The fact that BKB Razor is going to be walking quite freely around.
Yeah, and almost all of this, looking back at what we said in the draft, or what Sin said, the laning stage was not supposed to go this bad. Morphling got killed a lot of times against the Batrider. It's like one of the rare times where like Batrider has been played for years in the pro scene. A lot of people know what the weaknesses are, but they found this small little opportunity and they pushed it, which pushed them to a follow-up kill and a follow-up kill, and now Morphling's just playing from behind all game, and that's really hard when the rest of the BlinkPool team are on a good place.
And BlinkPool, I think, understands like how they win these fights now. Like, it wasn't just the heart, he also got the Hood of Defiance, he went back into it. So Madara is insanely tanky, and they've got that front line to go high ground. PL TPing down to the bottom tier 1 tower, looking for a target. They don't really have one. The rest of War is already bailed out.
He's pretty much unkillable right now, is what it feels like. It would take so much from the enemy team to pick him off. The Hood, if anything, the one thing that actually does do a lot of damage previous to the Hood was the Firestorm, because it does percentage-based damage, and he just got himself a heart, so he's got a lot of health. I think the Hood is more than reasonable for how safe it is. It's a 1,700 gold item. It's not super expensive. It's slot expensive, but on top of the heart, his hero does not go down. He's going to stay alive through burst, and it just allows BlinkPool all these opportunities to find the right fights and the right kills. And when you've got a Batrider or Naga, that is just a huge advantage.
BlinkPool are hungry for the fight. Thanks to Lina's Shadowblade, she was just able to escape.
But this is all she can do.
Like, she's even pulled the recipe. She just wants to finish up the Lincoln Spear, and the only way to do that is just let her farm up on top lane.
That's what's so hard about her position.
Like, how are you meant to do this when Ritsu is now babysitting Alina?
Yeah, like that's the Lina needs a Lincoln just to stay alive in these fights. Her Shadowblade is supposed to be a hybrid offensive, mostly an offensive item more than a defensive one, but she has to use it defensive because they're losing and there's a Batrider. It forces her gameplay to change. It's kind of like if you're playing against a Spirit Breaker. But BlinkPool doesn't really care. Their opponents are going to have to play more efficiently, and now they just get to go high ground.
Yep, and they're not there to really defend it. Lina can TP back, so can Millen, but it's taking some time.
Yep, they use a Crimson Guard that will slow down a pretty solid amount at least. But now as they back off, can Wind and Rain get a kill on the backline? The sentry did spot the Lina though, so they know where she is. See if they try to fight her.
That's why Misery setting the illusions up. Got around, first TP's beginning. Millen only begins his TP now. They're going to see him. Blink Lasso is going to cancel it. That's 30 seconds without a clockwork.
Not a huge loss there for Wind and Rain. It does force BlinkPool to back off briefly. In some ways, their high ground push mid was not super effective, but they should be going back mid now as a result of that kill.
Exactly where they are.
They want to force the fight. They've got Aegis. It's time.
The only thing that can delay them really is actually fortification.
Crimson.
Madara can tank through everything else. The Shackle won't latch. Media Hammer just allows Madara to stand continuously, but where's the creep wave? It's still coming in.
I mean, Crimson's actually stopping most of this. Between the passive from Underlord and the Crimson Guard, PL, his hero is hitting for like less than 20 damage before the fortification armor, so that does actually stop it. They don't even have to use a glyph just yet. Crimson Rush here was so valuable.
Doesn't even seem right that something like that should do that.
Well, it's just because the nature of PL, you know? Like, PL, all of his illusions deal reduced damage, so a raw damage reduction from a damage block is going to counter it. And the way Underlord works with this passive reduces damage based on stats by 40%. So it's just like a perfect item for how the hero works. And the fact that it also affects buildings means that they can evade sieging a lot better. And that's really the one big weakness that BlinkPool has. They don't have very good tower hitters. If they had better tower hitters, they probably would have been able to take that tower by now, perhaps. Or at least dealt more damage. But that's also the offside. If they have a better tower hitter hero, they maybe wouldn't have had a PL, and they wouldn't even been in this position. So,
the Hunter's coming on bottom lane now for BlinkPool. Clockwork moved over already, but Selena's trying to push into the tier 1 tower that they want to try and catch out. Millen will be the buffer, however. He is standing between
Dire's bottom
the rest of
tower
BlinkPool and the Lina. I say that when she's in the tree lines and then Sticky Napalm Kezu.
Does, sir.
He does up, and he actually did connect over on the Lina with a quick flame break to trigger the Lincoln Sphere. That means Lasso can now be used. That was his 4-star from the Batrider to do it. A quick Eul Scepter up and towards the air. She'll come back down again, but only into her own death. 70 seconds without the Lina. She has no buyback available. So for Rev defense, now time to kick in.
are scanning.
Great snag there. Kezu finding her and having a dust as well, not relying on his supports to actually carry the detection for him. So great grab, and again, that's Lina's job this game. She had an okay laning stage, and she did a great job pressuring the top lane, but that was really all she did. She wasn't able to get super far ahead, and there's just too many heroes that are difficult for her to kill.
Looking for the Morphling on top. He's got Lincoln Sphere. Wind Ranger scouts out the attack coming in. Ritsu going to waveform and begin his TP. They have no stuns between the two of them, however.
Use the lasso to kill the
Flame
Lina.
Break was modified a long time ago.
Yep. Can break the Lincolns with the Force, but can't lasso afterwards, so... No snag there, but still, they killed the Lina. Currently, Clock is, I'm not sure, looking for couriers or something? Trying to find enemy heroes. I guess it's safer for him to jungle on that side of the map, but...
Well, he ran through his own jungle before. Nice shackle in towards the minutes. Underlord in trouble. They're going to drop the Mystic Flare. He already begins the TP, but they cancel at the ensnare. Able to do so, and Ritsu actually coming in, trying to steal the damage as that Morphling needs to wait from away. He's running out of mana, and the lasso controls him. Down for a full minute. You can buy back on the Underlord. At least the shackle can bring down Misery, but Madara has just been given a ticket to hunt. So they're not going to go in any further without the Skywrath Mage with the Naga save. They're deciding against it.
That's a good escape. I mean, they do get 2 heroes, not all bad there, but I think grabbing the Morphling and the Underlord and an Underlord buyback is by far going to be more worth it. 2 supports for 2 cores, and they retain their gem. BlinkPool is going to be happy and content with that one. It's going to, waste some time. The Aegis is gone now, but the way that this game is going trajectory-wise is just getting super, super out of control. Manta now in PL, among other things. They've got E-Blade on Morphling at least, so he can get these one-shots, so heroes like Naga are going to need Euls or Glimmer. Same for Skywrath Mage, but they're all building what they can do.
Like Naga's almost finished up her Eul Scepter. In fact, I take it back. She has finished her Eul Scepter. Batrider's building the same, and he's not too far off too.
That'll
a couple of 100 gold and is completed.
Another Lincoln's Breaker and deals with the E-Blade. It's just they're going to be able to cover all their bases so easily right now. And eventually, Batrider I'm confident to say he's going to get a BKB at some stage. It feels like bats these days don't get that, but...
Able to jump over, went up to Skywrath Mage. Rev wants to pull him back out again with a quick 4-star. Millen's got the distance to stay out of the Mystic Flare as well as Meteor Hammer.
I just want to give a shout out to Misery,
looking around
though.
Roshan. He might spawn in 10 seconds time.
The Force happened. There was no way his Meteor Hammer was going to land. He held the channel.
Oh wow, they actually caught up to Morphling, break the Lincolns, and then snare. The combinations from BlinkPool, they're working so well. They know he's got Waveform, and what's he going to jump into? Ritsu, he tries to jump down, able to do so, stolen the Doppelganger, and gets back away to safety. Song of the Siren is out from Misery into the Meteor Hammer. Will catch both Rev as well as Bryle, and they go back in again, charging forward. You've got some protection with both Pipe as well as Crimson Guard, and defensive Eul Scepters.
Okay.
So BlinkPool seem to be happy just to back off once more.
I was really worried for the Lina there, not using the Euls to dodge it, but kind of smarter the way she did it. She waited until she went high ground, then used it to debuff. So she still gets hit by the stun. The song is used, but nothing to follow up on. And they do have some burst bombs on BlinkPool. It's pretty much just like Skywrath Mage. Morphling got away relatively easy in the last fight.
Well, they're looking for the engagement again. Ritsu is the most obvious bait of all fishes in the mid lane. Wants to steal the PL.
Freshmore. He did get the Morph Duration perk. He also went Waveform range, so he's not as good at right-clicking this game, but definitely has a lot more utility. Necessarily a bad thing to have. But,
hookshot forward, and the Sentry Ward down. That's when it's on Misery. A quick force up away. It was Kezu that saved him, while Madara just goes in deep. Shackled up for the moment for this fight. Spin the bottom of the path. Madara's going to be the big one. He wants to try and jump away. Doppelganger up. He has the distance. Morphling as well. They're just focusing on the one position. Both of which it looks like they can escape. Morphling able to waveform out and then get the one charges off. Everyone's beginning their TPs apart from Farev. Lassoed up. Millen actually having his cancelled, and he can't run away. The orb attack from the Skywrath should be enough to find that kill with one more attack with the 4-star forward Razor. And Farev is taking a while, But eventually he's brought down by the most entertaining laner in the game,
That's
Misery.
true. Misery's actually been owning. He Yule Scepter the Clockwork as well. He's just causing so much teamfight disruption. And I was definitely worried for Madara there, but he was able to escape the enemy heroes just long enough, get the Manta off, run away from his opponents. And by that point, BlinkPool had cleaned up everybody else and was able to catch them all independently. So it just seems like no matter what happens in these fights, BlinkPool is just so much advantage that they just can't kill core PL. This super fast part that he got into the hood has just made him invulnerable. And he's almost got a butterfly now. Like,
I just love the way that War believed they have to deal with it. And BlinkPool did the same type of thing when they focused on the Morphling. It was a 4-1 fight. 4v1 fight going on from both sides. And they were within like 1,000 range of each
Dire's
other.
top tower is under attack.
it was very much like that. It really felt like PL looked ditched to me. But luckily his gold advantage was such that it did not matter. Razor's got a...
It's on purpose, right? Like you battle the Morphling, you focus him down, because once the Morphling's dead, what has War really got? Like the Lina doesn't seem to be that impressive in the fight.
Yeah, it's the biggest negative of a late game Lina. She does attack very fast. She has some pretty good bursts. She has chain stuns, and she's good at ganking and pressuring the map. But individually, her hero's not very survivable. She doesn't have a lot of armor. She can't do that much AoE, and even having like a Mjolnir or something is not always the best solution against a P. So it's going to be hard for Lina going forward. There's a ton of armor on Razor now. He gets Ashivas and the armor perk. The only thing BlinkPool is lacking is easy and convincing high ground. But they're winning every fight. They're transitioning. They have good team fight scouting. They're hitting so many checkboxes. And they can just high ground with gold advantage. And that's what they're aiming to do in the late game here.
TP back wall. They're coming from behind. Dire have already used their scan. Into the pit they go as Ritsu inside of Roshan. But that's why the Naga illusion was there. Bad Rider takes to the skies with a firefly and the song of the siren. That's a huge one. It actually caught out 3. They don't realize they've got the Lina. He's inside the Shadow Blade. They're making more PLs, and then the hammer connects. And Shackles will buy a little bit more time, but not enough. The Lina dies so quickly. Maybe the Underlord. He can take him away to safety if this can complete. Ritsu's low, but away. Unfortunately for his teammate, it won't be so lucky. The Clockwork Millen dying in the trees, and now this means an easy Roshan for BlinkPool.
It's the best time for Clockwork to have the voice line. How's it going? He's very, very screwed up in the face of his friends, and at least Frev is able to save some of his cores. If not for Underlord, that would have been 4 or 5 heroes dying, and very likely the end of the game. But either way, Misery's position there was fantastic. He was very separated from his team. He was in a position that could potentially cut off his opponents, and he caught 3 of them. So as a result, perfect team fight, perfect Meteor Hammer, and it was just a snowball's win there. So Aegis and Cheese going to be going to BlinkPool, which will again make their high grounding continue.
Yep, Madara has the Aegis, the Immortal Cheese is in the Razor, and they just also picked up the Arcane Rune over on Kezu. And there's an extra double damage rune just to, well, don't know who are they going to send for that one. It's Madara.
Do you see how pathetic Razor's damage looks this game? It actually looks so atrocious. They're like winning by this much. He's level 22. It's like 98 plus 24. Watch out, guys. Watch out for the Razor. But obviously he gets most of his damage from his abilities, static link, stuff like that. He's picking up the heart next because they're just so far ahead.
He's going to come out, chasing after Misery. That's 1 minute cooldown for him. Meanwhile on bottom lane, Lasso finds the bigger target. It's the Morphling. Can they control him enough to get the kill, however? E-Blade is still available, but no. Ritsu locked down and killed off.
He was playing that one safe too. He was like fully strength morphed, so he either saw it coming or was strength morphed. It took forever to kill him, but it works out. 2 heroes, just the Batrider and the Scarlet Mage. It was effective.
They're going to force him buyback. The buyback has to come. That's a double damage Phantom Lancer. Yeah, it's going to wear off in a bit, but you see how quickly he hits into the tier 3 tower with no fortification for the Radiant side. They have to rely on the Crimson Guard to do the work.
The illusions won't work. They gotta wait till the Crimson's gone. He's getting hit.
Madara's still trying it.
He's scared, man. Okay, they do pick it off. Eventually.
Madara, where are you going? Oh, he's running out through the bottom.
Yeah, just gotta wait for his heart to kick in. He's missing 2,000 HP. You just sit back for like 8 seconds or something, and then you're high guard again. Essentially, he gets another Aegis out of it.
I like the quick sentry down. They're looking for the Lina. If she wants to move forward, she can't hide inside that Shadow Blade.
They see the ward too, so they'll probably deal with this Observer Ward in a second. That's so important. Don't let them know where Batrider's coming from.
Madara going up the range tracks. They need a little bit of help. The Seal and the Lasso. They caught Forev. They want to bring him down. He has no Crimson Guard. Sworn Charges are available. He'll burn him, but not enough regeneration. So the buyback, that'll give him the regeneration, but it bought the time. Morphling did not have to commit his buyback. So they've still got more Morphlings available. This is what now, the second time Pit Lord's been forced to buy back in this game after the 20-minute mark?
Yes, and you could really see it in that last engagement there. They were able to catch him even with the Obs Ward, and just a pipe and a Crimson Guard alone are not going to keep him alive. He needs, I don't know, something else, just more raw HP, maybe some kind of Lotus Orb would be useful, but they're just, he's queuing it up, but they're just too far behind. 21k gold advantage now is just, feels impossible to fight against.
It looks great for BlinkPool. And also, I'm going to one day say Underlord and not Pit Lord.
It's hard, man. That once I don't say, I do these like stretches where I don't say Pit Lord, and then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere, and it's just in my brain, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you
It's
can
like
relate.
Windrunner.
Yep.
Windrunner appears every now and then. Kezu's looking for a gank. He's got that Gem of True Sight, hasn't taken to the skies yet, but he was underneath the Observer Ward.
It was good he jumped there. That was getting a little scary. This is like one of those times where you can throw just by doing things like that. Oh, we can take this ward, no problem. But if your opponents happen to be 5 mana or smoking at the same time, that's a great way to lose a gem and get killed on the map.
War keeps doing this as well. They keep smoking up multiple heroes to run into the dire jungle looking for some kind of scouter, but then you see the Observer and Sentry planted down by BlinkPool.
Oh, they're TPing everybody. They see
the
him.
greatest vision. They're going to TP into Battle. They already saw the initiation to control the leaner up. Meanwhile, Scarus Mage does get nuked. I don't think they were actually ready for the E-play pop that came in for the Morphling. Forced up, he gets down the hill. And then Yulsep, the Rough, they're sticking with him. It's a Gem of True Sight from Kezu that sees everything. The Madara's beyond godlike streak. It's ended, but up on top lane, Ritsu, adding pressure to the tier 3 tower.
Oh,
Forcing TV back in Misery. Gets some extra change of Millen. He hook shots down, begins the TP! He's
No
so
Yules.
far away! There was nothing else to disable him. Kezu's Yule Scepter was on cooldown and Misery was too far away. Next level play.
That was really good. Escapes, but Madara's going to hit the range barracks here again. We're going to see the Crimson Guard. It's a little scary.
The pitch is down, they're in too deep. They don't have a lot of friends to help him out. Madara needs some distance. And he's got it. Kezu's already BT'd in.
That should be the range in a second. Oh no, he's not right-clicking well. Okay.
There it is, the illusion's moved over. And they took the Observer Ward. It's still so stupid. I don't think Madara even cares. Like you get worried about Madara diving in that deep. You gotta remember he's got this Aegis Immortal. He's had it for so long.
And the Butterfly.
Barra's got Blink Lasso ready to go for another jump. They just want a fight.
He's got every base covered pretty much here. Doesn't even need the hood anymore. Although he is taking a little bit more magic damage. They get the shackle, but can they follow up?
Blink Lasso, they got it again for Rev. Target number uno. They jump in on him and maybe they have enough damage to get through. Yeah, they do. Of course they do. Goodbye to Farav, and they'll move forward down. Rax is the primary objective.
It's so hard for Farav to stay alive here. He's limited on mana pool. He's only got 800 total mana pool, and it costs him 300 to use his ultimate.
Aegis is gone. It's problematic. Naga gets the disc with a 4-star. Song of the Siren has to begin. They open up Ritsu. They have the chance. Here comes the Meteor Hammer. Even the time the BKB does kick in for Ritsu. So Naga does fall for this, but is it really worth it as they just hide Madara with a Shadow Amulet for half a second? Hiding invisible, Ritsu starts to steal off a little bit of the damage as he has to waveform and get 4-star back up the hillside. And they get the lasso. Goodbye, Clockwork. Multiple heroes just dying. BlinkPool can even start buying back if they want to end it at the moment. But they've ravaged the mid, and they're rotating to top.
It's just so hard for them to defend here. They are 3v3 at least. Morphling's got to get some heal going on. Okay, he does. He's checking to see if he can...
You see what Ritsu wants. He wants Kezu. Oh, and too quick. Saw it coming from a mile away and blinked away.
He could even Yules if things got really bad. There's so many... This is the benefit of gold advantage. You just have all these items that solve problems. Like all the times they needed to catch TPing heroes. Everybody's got a Yules, so it just adds up because they're already so far ahead. So these little trades that should be going better are just becoming harder and harder. And like I said earlier about Underlord's mana pool, if this guy has something like Arcanes or a Lotus Orb, he's got like 50% more mana pool. But he just doesn't have that. So one disable with PL going on him instantly gets mana burned. Then he absolutely can't Dark Rift. And it's not often that we see that because usually Underlords are doing better. But all of the advantages that BlinkPool caught and collected throughout the whole game has gotten them to this moment where it makes it almost impossible for Wind and Rain to defend and slow things down.
Is this why you think we're seeing more and more PLs as well? Yeah. I know during the drafting time, everyone was saying, oh, the PLs just had this rise because there's no naive Battle Fury against them. But it seems also with a lot of the Intel heroes, like and the lower mana pool strength heroes running offlane, Diffusal just rips them apart.
It seems to me like Mana Drain is sometimes useful. In games like this where he's ahead, it's great. But he does feel like a carry that like he does have few counters. If you if you have a game like this where you are winning by a large amount, yes, Diffusal is amazing. If you go even, whatever, you're still PL, and they're not going to feel greedy enough to pick counters anyway.
Initiation on Forev. He is totally alone. And now going to be dead for 70 seconds without buyback. It's still on cooldown for 2.5 minutes, and that's a double damage Phantom Lancer running in and just taking out the top racks. They do not stop this. That's plus 300
They're in
damage and
backdoor.
245 base damage.
He's hitting so hard right now, and 2 towers
Shots
left.
off target. They've lost extra initiation. E-Blade pop. Oh, and actually just invis him. He glimmercaped, he dodges the E-Blade attack. Goodbye Morphling, and really goodbye game 1. BlinkPool, they've got this one so shoved down in the back. GG is the call. BlinkPool, great start in the lower bracket match.
Yeah, I think this was a fantastic game by them. I think Misery played ridiculously good, Kez ridiculously good. Those two guys secured this early game in a massive way. And then the mid